Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So here we are with the finals of the match. So I have to do this voicing because there are some like kind of audio thing that I prefer not to have it public. So yeah, here we are with a Flagburg facing against Seraph. So they will be like explaining specific cards because the Prism player isn't quite familiar with the Flagburg build. So yeah, that's something that happens. And with the team on the right side, so the Seraph is basically the third deck that they have in the team, and the previous match that I have is the Nirvana, and the match before is the Bruce. So you have seen all three. So instead of just seeing the same deck being played again and again and again, we do it like different rounds. We have different players to actually be recorded for like showcasing. Yeah, so that's why you can well, it's also like because they are quite strong, they just keep winning, so we just have to featuring them. So yeah, okay, so we get a crit right here, bouncing back with a draw and a crit. For Flagburg, you always want to play a quick game, but with Prison, you probably will prefer a longer game because the more cards you have in your Prison means you have more resources to actually pump up if you go to grade 4. And at least keeping your grade 3 to have the extra power and also the extra drive. Yeah, so they are like talking about in this pulse skill is again the Prism player isn't too familiar with deck, so there will be some explaining happening. Okay, so the Flagburg player didn't go for like a 3-line attack, only for 2. It's also explaining the grade 2 assault skill. Okay, taking 1 and getting a crit. Also get through and heal, so the damage is reversed, and actually pulling 2 crits out from the Prism Grade is pretty big. Even though Seraph Grade 4 can actually gain crit, but being able to pull this crit out early game means you don't need to face that much like later in the game. And just adding a little bit, I might not be like very familiar with all the Anger's names and such, so do forgive me on that. So now he's using a grade 2 right line to actually present a card from hand, and that is going to be annoying for a Flagburg player because they need to get a lot of resources onto the board, and at the same time, if they want to save the units out, which can be a very important card for them, they need to counterblast or soul blast, which also is very important resources for them to actually make all those attacks that is more than 3 times. And for Flagburg, luckily we do have the Bushiroad magazine promo available, so compared to like the EN side that haven't get the card yet, that's could be a very big difference, and that's also why a lot of people actually taking this deck out in the team tournament, because the promo is strong and Flagburg can actually play a very good fast game. If you push well, you just get to do like 5 attacks, got restrictions, and just go in and win. And now the Flagburg player is actually struggling on what card to actually put into the Prism from hand. I think it's also because he is not very familiar on how to actually counter Prison. But if you like see my very early Flagburg plays, like even before we have Inner Pulse and such, Actually, I think Prison is not that hard of a matchup. Okay, he put a Mantis, which is have to say is a very good play. And now he's using another new card that forcing his opponent to put another card from hand to the prison and get it drawn back. And this card is so important during these matches because like when you are lacking resources or you are in this situation that you haven't get into graveyard yet, like here, the Flagburg player actually needs to put a PG in there because you want to save the key attackers. And even if they can draw a card back, the extra card that's being drawn might not be as important. Okay, they're talking about the grade 2 that when things come out from prison will be minus 5k. Yeah, and the Flagburg player is just like saying, oh, it's so annoying, but that actually is how Seraph's being played, so yeah. Okay, Garter. Okay, this one is swinging. Let's see if he can commit more resources to card, or he prefer to get more counter blast so he can actually do more stuff. So there will be a lot of thinking time. That's why you can see the actual video length is so long. Okay, here comes the second in a pulse. And now finally, the Flagburg player can actually ride into Flagburg and do his stuff. But as you can see, he already committed 2 important cards from his hand, and now he also needs to think about what cards he can actually discard to use the right deck. You can see he only have like 4 to 5 cards in hand, so that's not a lot, and you need to build a decent attack line. And okay, here comes the assault being discarded and come out with the Flagburg, and I think he do have another Flagburg in hand, so you can actually pull the assault out. Yeah. And now they're explaining what Flagburg does, like, yeah, basically the 3 attack, 4 attack, 5 attack, what will happen. So do give them some time to explain stuff, and I think he only have 1 soul left, 2 counter blasts open with 3 cards in prison. Now is he going to like save off his unit from prison while all being minus 5? But at Mantis is a very good counter because you minus 5, you add 5 to another thing, so basically kind of cancel, kind of, not exactly, but kind of. And the Great One is still there. It's still a good 10k beater interceptor, but you do have to get prepared, like they will be present every single turn. So now the key is he going all out to push while his opponent is not yet grade 3 so he can apply enough pressure, or he's trying to play it like a little bit slow, which will also be getting into the trap of prison. So it's very important of what he decided to actually go in and plan for. So let's see what it does. So still need to think like quite a bit of time. Okay, he play in a pulse, so he can at least do 5 attacks with 1 soul, 1 counter blast, and saving 1 counter blast for Flagburg. That is if he to choose not to put any of his cards away. He can do 5 attacks, but if he is going to do that, that means he will not be able to. Okay, so actually the inner pulse is attack, but yeah, you can see he kind of didn't actually rest the units, so I think it's how some player plays, but do be careful on that. And then the assault is withstand with the second inner pulse attack. So this is the third attack. Yeah, and sometimes like when I'm like helping out on like these events, sometimes I see some players are actually playing quite fast while I'm like still watching for the whole thing. Sometimes I'm gonna catch things fast enough, and because they play that fast, so I can't actually catch up to like even repair the situation if it's repairable. So sometimes it happens, but maybe it's just on my side that I need to be better. Okay, so Flagburg with 5 attacks and hitting the no triggers, only putting his opponents to 4. A bit unfortunate. And the inner pulse, okay, we just talked about that. We just allow because just some little stuff that inner pulse should get into the soul. That's also why I'm saying like things are going too quick sometimes, and this kind of things happens. But of course his opponents have like the right to say no to this. Okay, here comes the great one again to present another card. There's 4. And what he can do is like bind from deck, which is exactly this promo is going to do. Okay, and bind the promo, which is quite important. Trying to free, because there are 1 and 3 prison cards and free drive. So Vanguard going in for 23, triple drive. It could be scary. The right side 15k, the left side is 23k. So it's kind of guardable, but based on what we see from the Flagburg player's hand, it's not that. Okay, so he can say over trigger. So they draw and get the 100 million first. Okay, so power and crit is double. And here comes another crit. So that's 1, 2, 3 damage. The 3 damage directly push the Flagburg player to the corner, and then this one is, it was like a less powerful side, but now more powerful side, but now less powerful. 48 becomes a PG, and then over trigger yet another PG. So you can see 3 PGs already being public. That's really bad for the Flagburg player. He do have a lot of resources. He is trying to personalize, so he get 2 souls, 3 open counterblast, not a lot of hand. The promo is in a prison, but then he don't have the like prison grade 2 that actually minus power, so he can just let all his units out with full power. And his opponent is at 4, so there's no reason you don't push, because with this deck, if you don't push, they go to grade 4, they will even like bind your hand as well, so that will be even annoying. And like, he's only get 4 cards in hand, even he get like Chain Drive to get 2 more, that's 6, but he still need to play a lot of units. So yeah, he's planning what he wants to do, how many attacks he can do. But he's putting one behind the Vanguard, which will likely be the promo, because the promo is working while behind Vanguard circle. So that's my guess. Okay, using the new grade 1 order, put 1 card, look at top 3 of the deck, put 1 to the drop, shuffle your deck, and then just pull a unit that is the same grade or below of your Vanguard, and get the promo. So let's see if he actually get another promo in his hand, because if yes, he probably will be using something else. Okay, here comes the Inner Pulse. So that means he have the promo in his hand. There it is. He comes to us out using prison effect to bring 2 units back. Okay, plus 5 to Inner Pulse. Okay, so you see he didn't rest the unit as well again for Inner Pulse, but he's attacking with the Inner Pulse. Yep, so there's only 1 open counter blast left. 1 is paid for the promo, so the last one will likely be for Flagburg. And after that, he's basically running out of all kind of resources. And this is a 28k swing. Yep, so there's a lot of calculations, asking power coming in, because they basically need to like hit and guard for 5 attacks. Seraph player do have a lot of cards in hand, so it's just a matter of are those cards valuable, and he do have 2 interceptors. On the left he get a like more powerful intercept, so he probably can survive this. If you do it correctly, that is. And he do need to save some hand, because if he is going to block a Flagburg with being 5 attacks happen for the turn, he needs to have 3 cards in hand to actually do the guard. So let's see. Saving intercepts for Flagburg is one choice, or saving 3 cards in hand to do like a PG or something is another choice. He's actually taking it, okay. Second attack with the promo for 23k, so there's no power boost, so okay, using the intercept to clear this. 28, using another intercept. Inner pulse for the 4th attack. But of course he's not using a skill, because if he does, which means Flagburg is not going to have the card restrictions. And the prison player seems still to have like about 6 cards or more. So let's see. Like that's the powerful bit of prison deck. They do have a lot of great defenses and can also be annoying. Here comes a Flagburg attack, retiring, draw, plus 10k. Let's see, now he have nothing on the field, so he needs to play 3 cards for sure. Okay, here comes the Slovakia Overtrigger. Unfortunately, there's no other standing units, so it's not going to help the situation, but at least he get to heal, which means he can take 1 damage and at least have 1 overhand counterblast for doing his combos if he have any. But the attack is being PG, so draining his opponent to 2 cards in hand, and Inner Pulse going in to draw. Okay, here comes a Great 4. Plus 6 cards into the prison, making it to 9, so that's going to be okay. It's only 1, so 5, 2 to 8, 2 to 8, not 9. Very close to 10. Okay, 2 more, and 2 cards from hand. But he only got 2 cards in hand. But at the same time, he still needs to be like making some scary move, because it's only 1 card attacking. That's not going to be good enough. Okay, here comes the Great 1. He probably will be using a skill, yes. Present another card, killing the intercept while drawing a card and making the prison cards to 9. He's very close to 10. Let's see if he actually can get himself another card to get prepared for the 10 prison move. Okay, trying to call the Great 1. To have like 3 cards in prison or more, he can actually call. She can actually call another copy of herself. He's thinking where to put. It could be on the right side to do like 3 attacks. Let's see where you put. Can actually do 3 attacks, even though without the crit support, the plus 20k is still quite massive. Okay, he's decided to do 2 attacks with big punches. $46, no crit, but still triple drive. Okay, the Flagburg blade is on no guard, and his opponent's heal. That's very important for prison player. Okay, that's a 41 swing with no defensive trigger support. Okay, actually 51. My bad, 51. Because that heal. Okay. Blocked it with 40k guard. But now he only have 1 counterblast, no souls, 3 cards in hand. Can he even pull off 3 attacks? I think they're counting triggers as well. 4 guys in hand for the prison player. it's a very good moment to actually go aggressive, but how much he can actually do is another problem. Because if he uses the counterblast to save his units, meaning he has no counterblast to actually do something. Unless his hand is very like high quality stuff that can still pull off a lot of attacks. Because if you want to use the trident, I think you still need to do like 5 attacks off nowhere, so not easy. So this probably will involve another big thinking time. And this is also one reason I like to use the Grade 2 Flower Girl, that when you have no souls, you can actually soul charge too. Especially against a like meta with a lot of Seraph. Because they always try to drain your soul, and you always will need to use some counterblast and soul blast to save some of your units if you really need to. Okay, so he got like the judge kept telling him to like separate cards from hand and present very carefully, because well, not trying to judge, but everyone have a possibility to switch cards even by accident, so we're preventing that. Counterblast 1. He did pay for it. I think he's trying to save some units. So he needs to pull 2 cards from the prison out as he paid the cost. And there's a crit, and I think it's a trident that I just talked about that can counter charge. Now he is like deeply thinking what he wants to take out. Okay, 2 Mantis. So one Mantis skill is applying to the Battle Grade 1, and let's see what the other Mantis skill applying to. I declared the left Mantis to the unit behind. But let's see. Okay, so that unit take 2 times plus 5. I think that's what he declared. Okay, going with Vanguard first, because he don't have any counterblast anyway. Okay, 2 damage, and he still got it. Is kind of lucky with the 2 triggers, and I think he just kind of like doing a lot of miscalculation and stuff. But that happens. Is like finals, everyone is like having a lot of pressure and such, so Now let's prepare to actually go into game 2. So we are now in game 2. So the prison player actually going first, and as you still see, like the whole video is actually quite long, so you can see how long I need to like rewatch this, and also at the same time how annoying prison deck can be, because usually a match in foreign prison usually takes a very long time, usually. So this time the prison player actually get to like use less resources to put the prison down, because you need the reset unit to actually use the order. And this time let's see how the Flagburg player actually like pulls things off. Because he need to face a green-free Seraph turn first. That means if he's going too aggressive, he will suffer from having a lot of units in prison. But if he's not aggressive enough, that may also be a problem. But he did take one win, so it's still helping him out with less pressure during this match, because like technically he can fight his best and lose this match and then play another one going first and aim for that. But of course, if you can win, even with going second, you always want to do that as well, so you don't need to fight for a third match. Okay, one card to prison. So after the first best of 3 match, I think he kind of more familiar of what unit he should put in the prison. It is annoying, but if you like have enough experience against this kind of plays, you know what to put in, and yeah, of course it matters. Okay, here comes the grade 2 again, which is very annoying because you're -1 from hand, and then you're trying to from there baiting more resources. Okay, here comes the inner pulse. And he's also a kind of good guarding point if you want to, because once you're going into like grade 3, grade 4, the attacks will be a lot harder to guard. Okay, he chooses not to guard. He goes to grade 2 again. Okay, he's also taking it. Is he going to like do some big plays here, or he just going to like do 1 to 2 swings and call it a turn? Also, what's the discard is also another kind of a big problem, because his hand size is actually small. Yep, getting like pressured by prison, this usually makes you struggle a lot, even in this kind of moment. There's usually just okay, there's something and just trying to bring them back, but now every single piece will help you build your strategy, ruin your strategy, and like how you actually plan your next 2-3 turns can also be very annoying. Okay, so now let's see if he's actually pulling the grade or not. He haven't played any unit yet, so he can still decide to take the grade 1 out if he want to. Or he can actually also save 1 card in his soul if he wants to, but let's see. Okay, pulling the great one out. And save the units. Now this time is very careful on what to call and where to put, because like with Mantis, you can adjust the power to a level that requires a lot of card if you do it correctly. So let's see where it's going to put. If you are asking me where I probably will put Inner Pulse and Mantis on the same column, and +5 to the Great One, so that you can hit 15, 10, 21. Okay. Here comes a 15k. So okay. Ooh, got a draw trigger. But still, the 21k is still going to hit. That's very important, because you do want to do calculations that always can push, even when facing like a defensive. Okay, here comes the Reaper Seraph, going to present 2 units for sure. But will there be a third? Okay, here comes the third from hand. That's very annoying. Yep, so they are talking about the ruling of order cards, that the order will only go to drop when like you're saving the order card from the prison. So you can still put cards in the prison, and that's not like if you put a card into the prison that is order card, it will not directly explode. So here goes another Mantis. Of course, a very good choice to put in the prison, because when like -5k happens, Mantis is exactly what you need. Okay, Inner Pulse and the intercepts. Calling another copy. This is actually a very good unit choice, I would say, when you don't have a lot of resources sometimes, even though you draw a lot of cards, but being able to thin your deck with a good booster is still going to increase the rate your opponent triggers. Okay, here comes the annoying grade 2. Here comes the triple drive. Last time, this triple drive pushed his opponents to 5. And this time pushing him to 4. Okay, 2 damage. It's still not defensive. This is a trending 3k attack. And 38. Okay, block like that. Yeah, he's taking it. Okay, here comes the promo. So he's being pushed to 5 again. That is very dangerous for the Flagburg player. But he do have a lot of resources to use, so let's see. Now the big problem is again to talk to his hand what can actually ditch to use the right deck. Yep, again, so there's a lot of thinking time evolving, but I'm trying to do it in no cut here. So you can also see the struggle. Now he's thinking if he's going to pull out. Okay, the grade 2 is coming out. I think he's aiming for 5 attacks. Okay, saving 2 units. Okay, Amanthus giving power to Assault, and this time he got a Trident, so he can do counter charge and prepare for the next turn. And with Inner Powers and Trident go into Soul. No, Trident I think is going to drop in, that will go into Soul. But let's see. Sorry, I can't exactly remember Trident because I haven't actually taken the Flagburg deck to play while I don't have the promo yet. Okay, so they're talking about like units with like coming out from a prison because they will get minus 5k. So I think now we are actually using my counters to decide what to make things clear. So +5 is +5. The cards that flipped it reverse are minus power for everyone to notice what is going on. And because I do have a lot of counters, so this can be sorted. Another way that I usually do is like what the 5k is actually placing, like facing the player is the plus, and I reverse it to be minus. That is also something that works. And he will be a misplay coming in. Inner pulse should only be withstanding while attacking Vanguard, but then like because we are like sorting this current problem of the misunderstanding of the grade 2, so this part is missed it, but I do catch this part like in probably like 2 minutes. So in the next match, like before the next match happens, we did remind the players that this is not something that is workable, but do let you know what's happening. So it's actually something that shouldn't be happening unless the inner pulse attacking Vanguard while the grade 2 is coming out as intercept, which is unlikely. So clear his opponent's board. Oh, he can say over trigger, like basically a reverse of what happens last game. But the Trident actually didn't activate. Okay, pushing his opponents to 5, but he get to draw. Okay, so unfortunately there's like a bit of misplay here, but let's keep going on to see how the match goes. Okay, here comes grade 4 Seraph. Binding a hand is actually very annoying because this directly kills what you can do with guarding. You do have an intercept, but I don't think this card will live on the field for a very long time. Yeah, so we are already in like 45 minutes from just 2 matches. And fortunately, that the finals we don't have time limits, so they can just play whatever time length they want, even though it's still very mental draining. And it's a best of 3, so but having the best of 3s, even like with all teammates in a 3 versus 3 format, giving all players at least a chance. Even if you face a bad matchup, you still have one turn to try it out, like one game to try it out, another game trying to catch up, and then fight for a third game, right? Okay, here comes the great one. Oh, he actually prisoned the Trident. Probably he have another card to prison. Probably. Okay, bind from deck this time. Oh, he took a heal. Okay, another one. PG. Even though the heal won't be that important, but still. Okay, here comes the new promo coming into play. That because his opponent is grade 4, so you can just ditch it as a PG for free. And draw. Oh, he's putting all the power into one. And trying to kill the grade 2 with pure strength. Okay, he decided to actually end his turn, not giving his opponents extra resources. He has only one soul, one color loss. Things he can do is very, very limited. Eight hands on the prison player's side. So the prison player is doing the right thing. He is limiting resources his opponents can do, while trying to do a lot of things to be annoying. Prison from deck that killed the PG, killed the heal trigger. And if he can just keep constantly right into grade 4 Seraph and like do the play every single turn, eventually he will just win. So for Flagburg player, he's just basically on a time bomb. He need to act quick. You need to push hard, because if you don't push hard while your opponents have a lot of resources, you're just going to drown eventually. So let's see what he thinks and what he actually decided to do. So he's discussing with his teammates as well, because we allow team communication, so you can check how many wins your opponents do, or they actually take the win already, so you can know how much pressure you should apply to yourself. Yeah, so if there's one more card loss, I think the Flagburg player actually don't have to like struggle that much. He can basically spare a counter blast for multiple attacks, or even saving his units out and then saving another counter blast for Flagburg, or even use 2 counter blasts to like do one for multiple attacks, one for saving units from prison, and do 5 attacks so that the Trident can actually have you counter charge and use that counter blast to counter charge. Actually use the counter blast for Flagburg. That's what I mean. Yeah. So that's pretty tough for the Flagburg side. As the Flagburg player, of course, you always want to just win this game, so you don't need to face this deck once more, because it's so mana draining. Okay, card lost. Saving units. 1 Inner Pulse and 1 at Mantis. So he's attacking with Inner Pulse. Again, he didn't rest the unit, so if you're actually playing, do be careful. You do need to do these things correctly. 1 damage, okay, he's a PG. Because he is indeed personal riding, so every single attack will hit. And he decided not to use Flagburg skill, so okay, actually going into Flagburg because you don't have any counterblast, so you don't need to actually care that much. But he's trying to use Inner Pulse to draw himself a card, and then trying to survive a turn and probably aim to win the next turn. Now the Prism player have 2 choices basically. 1, to do a 2 Haas because the over trigger is out. So even if 1 trigger comes out and put to Vanguard, if the other one is not, he can survive. Or he can actually do the safe play, which is full guard and then basically block the other 2. But of course, doing that will be using a lot of resources. So 5 triggers been out on the Flagburg side that is public. Of course, there are cards in the hand that are triggers, but of course, he's not revealing that, so you don't know about those. So I think it's pushing to 48, so it's a full guard. He got a crit. Let's see if the other one is actually a trigger. If yes, he really made a good choice. Okay, all effects are at Mantis, and the other one is not a trigger, unfortunately. Both are 28, but this one is a attack with crit. So all requiring 20k card each. And I don't think Prism player play front, so every attack is like 2 cards in it. Okay, he uses the over trigger as well, so also revealing he indeed have a over trigger and it will not be in deck. Okay, here comes another Grateful Seraph. So this is going to drain Flagburg player's hand while pushing Grateful Seraph to 10 probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's 9. And there should be 2 from hand. So there should be more than 10, meaning Seraph can actually apply crits. 9 cards in hand for Flagburg player. 11. Okay, so using a great one to actually draw one could be important. But he really needs to put up 3 attacks. Okay. Presenting another cards in hand. By the way, this is actually another strategy when things go like super long, that you allow your opponents to draw cards so they can kind of deck them out. Let's see. 43 crit. $45 for right and 48 for left. All of them are very powerful attacks. It's not that easy to survive that, even though you have like 9 cards in hand or so, because all of them basically asking you like a 40 hit shield per attack. $11 triggers revealed on the prison side, so that's 5 more. Not a lot, but with like how the prison built up by now, the attack is just so massive to even trying to block, and the Vanguard attacks have to be blocked. To the pass. Or nothing. $35k shield and 40k shield. Okay, here comes game 2. The prison player just barely live, have to say. But all his hard work paid off. So let's get prepared to go into game 3. And we are talking about like the inner powers that can only withstand with Vanguard. So here's where we remind them, and now we are getting into game 3. So both players win one of each. So laugh, cry. This is basically what they can do. And the Flagburg player will be going first. So it's basically to his flavor, because he win one, he lose one. He only need to win one, and he's going first. He can pull off all his multiple attacks before his opponent is doing massive prison. Because the grade 2 right line is going to bind prison 1 from hand, that's -1, but the rest of the grade 2s are like prisoning from deck, prisoning from hand, but letting you to draw 1, so your resource in quantity didn't reduce, so you can still go into Flagburg and do a massive play at least for 1 turn. That is very key. And for prison player, they need to actually play another unit in order to play the prison, so that's one thing. Yep, and just for people who watch it till now, it's already like 1 hour in, so you are with me watching this match. Let's see how who will win. If you didn't actually see my report and stuff, but if you see it, you know who is going to take the win. But if you do, at least just watch how the game ends. Okay. Ooh, a free trigger is going in. That's not very good. But that always happens with prison, so it's something that you cannot avoid. Okay, 1 damage. Healing 1 at Mantis, very key to build up the power. And I think he have at least 2 or maybe even 3 at Mantis in his hand. Okay, he's not committing more resources. Oh, here comes the actual 4 red Mantis. He do have 4 in hand. So I don't think he actually need to think this much. It's the third match against this deck. He knows what to put. Bind from hand. Here comes another one, so you can see all 4 of Mantis. And the background grid one, press another card. So we should see a 3-line attack. Okay, you can see the great one coming out in clutch every single game. Feeding the deck while putting some good booster. He's trying to play the -5k when prison grade 2. There it is. So basically the annoying field is done. Crit putting to 3, I think. There's no way you don't push right here. Yep, crit to Vanguard. Power to the right side. This time he finally get a defensive. This one is 23 and the other side is 28. He's taking another one and getting the last one. So he have all the resources he needed. It's just how he actually go in. And you also need to be very careful to save some unit so that the prison didn't build up too big. In a pulse, so we can do 5 attacks for sure. And his opponent is at grade 2, so even the grade 2 assault is going to hit. Okay, saving 2 units. Let's see where he puts the power to. Okay, to both sides. And that Mantis are only like 3k booster, but still better than nothing. And that's basically the best counter you have with prison. So Inner Pulse is attacking, again he didn't rest. So, okay, 15. Getting another hit. That's outstanding. And they start attacking again. For 18. Still requiring a 10k shield. And the 4th attack, so Flagburg will go in as the 5th. And Flagburg going in. He probably will take the attack. But now, what units will be retired? Okay, reminding them to pay the counterblast cost. Going in. Okay, good PG, but not for now. In the pulse. And in the pulse, go in and draw one. So he did certain amount of push, which isn't bad. But now the prisoner player is going to crate free and starting to grind the resources back again. And with triple drive, things can go very crazy. Present 2, isn't a great one, present another one to draw one. So that's 4. Seraph just get the 10k and also extra drive and just call in simply. Yeah, they're talking about the PG is only basically working for like native triple drive plus 1 is another effect, so he needed to actually discard another card. So now the prison player can choose to continue to push or actually end the turn right here, like what he did last time, and he actually did that. Okay, prison right. But what else can he do? We see at least 2 in the pulse is already point public, 1 in zone, 1 in drop. 1 promo is discarded from hand. Or advantage out. Okay, here comes the 3rd in a pulse. He seems very struggling on what he can play to at least do 4 attacks. Because if you play it in a pulse down, you aim for at least 4 attacks. But basically at this moment, any unit will help. But I think he's also aiming for the 5th. Because when your opponent is 4 damage, you have a free handguard restrictions attack going in. This can help end the game, of course. He can just gain the no triggers and just hit for 1 damage, but there's a chance you shouldn't be missed. So he's still thinking. I guess his hand is not that good. I can't actually see it from here. So okay, he do have a grade 2 assault. Oh no, it's a promo. And also a grade 2 assault, but all of them need to ease a counter blast. So I don't think he can pull off 5 attacks. So I think 4 attacks max is what he can do. So blast 1, saving a unit. The power will go to inner pulse, but where he put is another problem. He haven't decided yet. Okay. Now what he will put to the front right side radar circle is the problem. Again, I don't see him being able to pull off 5 attacks here. So I actually lay the promo down. Okay, swinging with the pulse again. So he can do 4 attacks max. Is he going to take it so they can have more resources for next turn, or he's trying to block it? I think here they declared the team win already. That the other 2 actually win. So the result of this match, like this best of 3, won't change anything to the final standings, but they both decided to actually go on and play through the game, and of course we should do that. But he gets an over trigger drop. And here comes the Flagburg with 4 attacks, popping 2, and getting PG'd. 1 card step in hand. Yeah, the Flagburg, okay, is going to grade 4, but then the Flagburg player should actually win the game because he do have a little cards in hand. His opponent only have 1 card in hand. If he didn't like do stupid things, he can just win. Even though again, it didn't matters how the team results going, but showing you a Flagburg deck being able to win prison if you do it correctly is very important here, I think. Even though he did some misplays, but overall he did apply enough pressure to the prison player, and both sides are basically like burning their brain to find out what the best strategies to use. Here comes a 41 swing. And the over trigger is out, so I don't think there will be a lot of things change. Okay, here comes another over trigger defensive. These counting triggers. Okay, let's see what he put the powers to. Okay, order Vanguard. So he's just basically not giving his opponents any resources. Okay, get back to Flagburg player Purelight, so he basically take the win I think here, because his opponent only got like 4 cards in hand. He just go all out. There's no point to wait any longer. And here's an inner pose again. There's 4 attacks. They only have like 4 cards in hand, so that should be game. There we go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.